Hello my people, how una dey? Welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another trending topic in Nigeria. So for this trending video, Ruben Abati dey collect woto from Obidents over the jab wey he throw them during his interview to Mr. Moka few days back. So as it stands now, one video don surface online. That is the video of Omoshola Deji, explaining everything that happened between Ruben Abati and Obidents. And he also posted videos of the previous interview where we say Dr. Abati don throw Obidents jabs and also Peter Obi. So as it stands now, many Obidents come dey react on this particular video, saying that Dr. Abati fit get issues with Peter Obi. I don't know if the Dr. Abati get personal issues with Peter Obi, or maybe he just dey do in job. You understand? Maybe he just dey talk all those kind talk, just to see how Obedience go take react, or maybe he just dey look for traffic, and he know the and this kind talk they always push, Obedience and Peter Obi fans, for them to react, or maybe for them to get more traffic, and also all those kind of stuff. So make I allow you pay attention to the video. Make sure you watch the video to the end. Like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, which is free. Like this video so that YouTube will recommend it to others. Then drop your opinion on the comment section.
Mr. Peter Obi is sponsoring a mob of reckless people who are defaming people, attacking people, bullying people.
I watched with dismay the wickedness and the fallacious lies being perpetrated by Ruben Abati.
Hello, great people. Supporters of Mr. Peter Obi, popularly known as the Obidents, have been throwing shades at Dr. Ruben Abati, one of the presenters of Arise News program, The Morning Show. The Obidents are arguing that Dr. Ruben Abati is allegedly fond of casting aspersion on Mr. Peter Obi at any given opportunity. The question now is the assertion of the Obidient against Dr. Ruben Abati, is it true? To determine this, I'll be playing you 4 videos and 1 bonus video. The 4 videos are about Peter Obi, the statement that Dr. Ruben Abati had made at different times about the person of Mr. Peter Obi. Then the 5th video is a bonus video that will help you in determining whether Dr. Ruben Abati is truly casting aspersion on Mr. Peter Obi or doing his job. It is important that you stay to the end, because that 5 video will at the end of the day determine what your final decision will be. Let's dive into the videos, great people. Let's watch them. At the end of watching the 4 videos, I'll give you a brief discussion, then I'll play you the 5th video. Let's dive into it.
When I saw the press conference by Mr. Peter Obi yesterday, I thought it was needless. If Mr. Peter Obi is considering a career in evangelism, yeah, there are many people who have gone from other careers into evangelism, but within the framework of the electoral process, what he did yesterday was just, in my view, just seeking media attention, looking for publicity. Why do I say so? The electoral process is effectively a process. If you, as a principal member of the process, if you have any grievances, the best place to go to is the court of law, and which is what Atiku Abubakar has done, the presidential candidate of the PDP, pursuing his matter in the court of law. The last time Waziri Atiku Abubakar had a press conference, he came out and said he wanted the candidate of the NMPP, Rabiu Kwankwanso, to join him, and also Peter Obi of the Labour Party to join him. The Labour Party released a statement and said they were not part of it. Okay, is it that now the Labour Party has changed its mind? The only appropriate forum that Mr. Peter Obi can adopt is to go to court to say he has issues to raise. But to come forward and then be giving a press conference and moralizing, it doesn't quite fall within the framework of the matter before us. But of course, for publicity purposes, for attention-seeking purposes, what he has said has generated attention. And I think that the response that he has received from Felix Moka of the APC is in place. What Felix Moka has said is that the 8.9 million people who voted for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the election, in the presidential election, they were not groggy when they did. So there's clearly a division on the matter in Nigeria. And the only place you can resolve it is not through propaganda, it's not media attention, it's in the court of law. So Mr. Peter Obi must be very clear about the fact that the matter is now before the Supreme Court, and it's only the Supreme Court that can decide on that particular matter. I need you to pay attention to this. You said Mr. Peter Obi is sponsoring a mob of reckless people who are defaming people, attacking people, bullying people, threatening people on social media and everywhere. A headless mob of bullies. Are you referring to the Obidents? And I would like you to comment further on that characterization of this mob that you say Peter Obi is sponsoring. And now that mob poses a threat to the administration and to society. There is a group that has emerged now of obedient Nigerians, and that is spelled OBI-DIENT. So they say they are obedient. Yes. You know, and I even read an article where a columnist says that Nigeria now is facing in parts of the country what is called obsession. In other words, that people are obsessed with Peter Obi, and you'll find the majority of these people, you know, carrying placards on social media defending him. One man has resigned from his lecturership position to go and support Peter Obi. One lady has left a job also to support Peter Obi. And here some women are contemplating even their husbands to go and pay for Peter Obi. I don't know how that will work out. I know Mr. Obi likes to quote figures from Bangladesh, from India, from China, but that's not what we're talking about.
There you have it. You just watched 4 videos showing Dr. Ruben Abati's remarks about Mr. Peter Obi at different points in time. Now, let us look into the 4 videos before I play you the bonus video, which is the 5th video. Now, video 1 is about Mr. Peter Obi during the presidential election, whereby he held a press conference after the presidential election. Well, for me, from my own perspective, that video 1 is an attack on Mr. Peter Obi's choice of strategy and communication. The case is in court. Okay, that's fine. But that doesn't stop Mr. Peter Obi from communicating with his voters, from communicating with people that have supported him and have cast their vote for him. So if he chooses to address the press and the press has given him the attention, then I don't think it is of any concern or should be of any concern to Dr. Ruben Abati. And even if it is of a concern, it should come by way of advice. But the way Dr. Ruben Abati puts that particular video, it shows that he's not advising Peter Obi in the true sense of it. That video is largely an aspersion on Peter Obi's choice of strategy and communication. People will come up with different strategy. For instance, during the election, Peter Obi was attending media invite. He was speaking to the press. Other candidates, some of them did not, show such decision. You do not take such decision to speak to the press. So different candidates with different strategies. So when a candidate is using the strategy that believes works for him, you don't need to cast aspersion on such a candidate, because different people with different strategy. Now let us talk about the second video. The second video is about Mr. Peter Obi sponsoring a mob of headless bullies, allegedly. Now what I see in that particular video is that Dr. Ruben Abati is trying to ask a question. He's trying to ask Felix Moka. You will recall that Mr. Peter Obi recently had a press conference where he rebuked the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he said a lot in that press conference that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has made 30 foreign trips during the 580 days of his administration, and he has spent a total of 180 days abroad. He scored Tinubu low on infrastructure provision, and he rated him high on providing economic hardship. He said a lot in that video, just as any normal opposition would say. So Felix Moka gave a response, attacking Peter Obi, and Mr. Peter Obi deemed that attack as a threat to life. Now, Felix Moka was on Arise TV to debunk that, he's not threatening Peter Obi. And while trying to ask a question, Dr. Ruben Abati says that Felix Moka accused Peter Obi of sponsoring a mob of headless bullies. Well, the thing is, I don't know whether Felix Moka made that particular statement the way Dr. Ruben Abati has put it. That is one thing. Another thing is that you can say you are crazy in 2 ways. You can say you are crazy, and you can also say you are crazy. It's in two ways. So the way Dr. Ruben Abati emphasized on that particular question shows that there seems to be a more of personal interest in it other than just asking a question innocently. Because the way he emphasized it, just as I used the example of that, you can say you are crazy in two ways. There's a way that he can ask that question more professionally, in my opinion, than the way he has asked it. And that is the particular video, that video number 2 is the one that got the Obidents enraged, because if you are calling them to their face as mob of headless bullies, you are using words like reckless and all that. So definitely the Obidents are not having it. But then I can cover Dr. Ruben Abati based on the fact that we can say that, okay, he's trying to ask a question, but then sincerely, he can be more professional, he can be more logical and more reasonable in the way he asks such a question. So now we go to video number 3. For video number 1, I'll rate it as an attack. For video number 2, because Dr. Ruben Abati was asking a question, I may let that fly. And now, video number 3, he said, people obsessed with Obi. Now, that video number 3 is more like a joke, but Dr. Ruben Abati again was being serious. In the sense that he said people are obsessed with Peter Obi. He says lecturers, that a particular lecturer resigned, that a lady left her job. Now, how true this is, it remains to be verified, because I don't think that anybody will just leave a job just because he wants to follow Peter Obi, except you are part of the campaign team, you are part of the presidential campaign team. But if you don't know Peter Obi, if you cannot move close to Peter Obi by a range of 100 meters, and you go and resign, you're on your own, by the time hunger flog you and your family, you will return back to that your work. So the second one is more like stressing the impact of Peter Obi and doing it in a joking way. So I won't rate that as an attack, sincerely. I won't rate it as an attack, because he is trying to tell people about how the person of Peter Obi is gaining acceptability like a wildfire. So sincerely, it will not be right to call that an attack. Now, the video number 4, before we go to the 5th video, which is a bonus, is that, you see, in that particular video number 4, Dr. Ruben Abati clearly deviated from the discourse to cast aspersion on Mr. Peter Obi, because I watched that particular video, the extended version of it, and it was during Felix Morka's appearance on Arise News. And they weren't talking about figures. They weren't talking about the strategy of Mr. Peter Obi, the lyrics that he used to win his voters. Dr. Ruben Abati just went off the radar and says that, Obi is fond of quoting figures. No, if you watch the full extension of that, they are not talking about figures. They are talking about the alleged threat to Peter Obi's life. So how does that concern figures? So for me, again, just as I pointed out in one of the videos, I think that particular one, the video number 4, is also an aspersion on the person of Mr. Peter Obi. But then, is Dr. Ruben Abati fond of casting aspersion on such people, or is just doing his job? Before you take your decision, in fairness to Dr. Ruben Abati, I will end with a video of him and of his comment about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where he talked about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, speaking, you remember before the 2022 presidential election, during the campaign, about Bala Blue, Bulaba. Let me leave you to watch the video. And at the end of it, I want to see what you think in the comment section. Is the Obidient right about Dr. Ruben Abati casting aspersion repeatedly on Mr. Peter Obi, or from the video number 5 that you are going to watch now, Dr. Ruben Abati is just doing his job? Let's watch the video.
Another. Well, if I was Asiwaju Tinubu's strategist, I probably would come and say, well, what Nigerians do not know is that the man speaks other languages that may not be known to Nigerians. Maybe it's a polyglottal, affectation. So when he says blah 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 blah, 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 or he says guru 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 guru, or maybe he's a polyglot. But then his strategists need to identify that language for us. But going forward, he should speak the kind of language that the electorate will understand, not bala bala blu 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 guru 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 guru. No, I think that's the point there. But
well, all right.
The strategists can turn it around and say he's a polyglot. He speaks in many tongues as the spirit moves him.
That's exactly what I need. Well, all right.